This is like they swing on. Good morning. We'll call to order the February 4th, 2025 Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. Board, in front of you, you have the meeting minutes for the January 21st regular meeting.
I'll move to approve those minutes.
I'll second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Introduction of guests. We have Jericho Schoaf, Damon Gentis, and Jeff Jones. Welcome. Is there anyone in the public that would like to address the board? Is there anyone in the public that would like to address the board? Hearing none, we'll move on. Building and planning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We have one item on the agenda. Bear Creek Development LLC is requesting approval of infrastructure plans that include the extension of utility infrastructure to a 36 residential lot subdivision. The project is Bear Creek Estates Section 10.
I'll move to approve the infrastructure plans for Bear Creek Estates, Section 10.
And I'll second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you. Nothing from IT this morning. That brings us to AES.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We have 5 things for the board this morning. First up is our approval to submit for deed funding. There's 33 locations we're interested in.
I will move to approve the submittal for deed funding.
I'll second. We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussions? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Next, we have a request to purchase our E7 XGS pond shelves with the corresponding multi-pond cards. including their warranty, for a total of $173,215.20.
I'll move to approve the purchase of those shelves with the corresponding pond cards with the warranty for a total amount of $173,215.20.
I'll second. And the motion is second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Next, we have a construction acceptance project with DeKalb Central Schools for a cost for them of $42,215. It's for a 6-count fiber construction from their middle school to their technical building.
I'll move to approve the project with DeKalb Central Schools in the amount of $42,215.
I'll second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
We have a 1-year renewal with CDW for APC service. It's a power capacity service out at our County Road 34 remote data center for $10,407.14.
I will move to approve the 1-year renewal CDW for the County Road 34 data center for the amount of $10,407.14.
I'll second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
And last, we have a renewal again with CDW for APC service, but this one is for the data center on County Road 29, and that amount is $30,261.78.
I will move to approve the renewal with CDW for the County Road 29 data center in the amount of $30,261.78.
I'll second. Any questions or discussion?
Are these, do you know if both of those are higher or lower than
They're higher,
they were?
slightly higher.
So hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you. Nothing for human resources this morning, nor the city attorney. That brings us to the city engineer.
Good morning.
Morning.
I have 3 items this morning. The first one would be for our Auburn Fire Department Training Facility Site Expansion Project. This is with the contractor Crosby Excavating. They've been awarded the project. This would be acceptance of their agreement contract in the amount of $356,451.10. This would also be acceptance of the performance bond, payment bond, and then to execute notice to proceed.
I will move to approve the agreement, performance bond, payment bond, and notice to proceed on the Fire Department Training Facility Expansion Project with Crosby in the amount of $356,451.10.
I'll second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Thank you. The next item would be for our 2025 paving project. This is with the contractor API Construction Corp. They've been awarded the project in the amount of $1,630,037.80. This would be acceptance of the agreement contract, performance bond, payment bond, and then issue of notice to proceed.
I will move to approve the agreement, performance bond, payment bond, and notice to proceed with API on the 2025 paving project in the amount of $1,630,037.80.
And I'll second. Any questions or discussion on that one? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Thank you. The final item would be in relation to that last project with API. That is a community crossings matching project. So this would be asking the board's approval for the mayor to execute the NDOT contract, Community Crossings contract, in the amount of up to $1 million. This project came in less than that. This would be for the mayor to sign that DocuSign.
I'll move to approve the agreement with NDOT on the Community Crossings Matching Grant Fund Program.
I'll second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
That's all I have. Thank you.
Brings us to clerk treasurer.
Good morning. I have two items for the board today. First item is the utility and AES bad debt write-offs for the last year. The utilities is $52,421.47, with AES at $24,644.56, for a total of $77,066.03.
I'll move to approve the utility and AES bad debt write-offs. And the, do you want me to list each one individually? Sure. The utility one, $52,421.47. The AES at $24,644.56, for a total of $77,066.03.
I'll second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
My second item is the conflict of interest forms for Emily DeWitt, John Good, myself, Lori Pontius, and Kevin Webb.
I'll move to approve the conflict of interest forms for DeWitt, Good, Pontius, and Webb.
I'll second. Any discussion, questions? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have fire.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just one item today, requesting your approval to offer a conditional offer of employment letter of intent to hire to Jonathan Bell. He will be required to pass the state of Indiana pension, physical, and psychological exam.
I move to approve the conditional offer of employment to Jonathan Bell.
And I'll second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Nothing from the mayor this morning. Brings us to parks.
Good morning. We have two items for the board. First one is a purchase of a new vehicle from Ben Davis Ford in the amount of $39,900. And with that, the surplus and trade-in of the 2008 Ford F-250 and a 2006 GMC 1500 with the following VINs.
I'll move to approve the purchase of the new vehicle in the amount of $39,900 and the surplus of the two vehicles mentioned.
Okay, I'll second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
Next item is the purchase of a Kubota L6060 loader tractor in the amount from Moore Farm Equipment in the amount of $45,357.75 with and that will be through Sourcewell Cooperative Procurement Program. The Parks Department will be trading in a John Deere 1999 4400 tractor and loader and a Bobcat 2009 CT 44 or 4445 tractor.
I'll move to approve the purchase of the new loader tractor in the amount of $45,357.75 and surplus and trade in the 2 pieces of equipment.
I'll second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Thank you. That brings us to police.
Good morning.
Good morning.
First, I'd like to request to amend the agenda about the vehicle purchase agreement.
I'll move to approve amending the agenda.
Okay, I'll second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. Auburn Police would like to withdraw the request for vehicle approval. The reason being is, one, if possibly 2 dealerships have reached out, or we'll have a bigger savings of money. So we want to get those bids finalized before moving forward to save money.
I'll make a motion to remove the vehicle purchases from the agenda.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
Thank you. I'd also request to amend the agenda again for a grant approval.
I will move to amend the agenda
For the grant.
for the grant approval.
I'll second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
Thank you. Auburn Police is requesting approval to accept a grant from the Small Rural Tribal Body-worn Camera Grant. This is a grant we've applied for in the past in the amount of $76,540. This grant will be applied to the Axon body camera transition we're going through. They've awarded us this amount of money due to the collaboration between the clerk's office and our office on the extent of the grants we use and the way we conduct our paperwork. And so they've awarded us basically about $76,000 more.
Now, just one quick question. You were looking at purchasing new vehicles, and it says here that these are also an in-car camera. Is that right?
That
The body-worn camera.
grant?
In-car camera. Yeah,
Yes, so this grant, yes,
Yes.
it's for the body worn and in-car cameras combined.
Okay.
The money goes to that.
And this would cover the new vehicles as well? Or
No,
not
it's a
apply?
complete separate matter.
Okay. Very good. I will move to approve accepting the body-worn camera grant in the amount of $76,540.
I'll second. Any questions, any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you. Nothing from street this morning. That brings us to electric.
Good morning.
Morning.
We have one item for the board's approval, and this is an engagement letter with Cronin Associates. This will be in the matters of our wholesale electric power cost adjustment tracker and procedures, and any other financial matters outside of big utility scope of work.
I'll move to approve the agreement with Cronin Associates.
And now second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you. Excuse me. Brings us to water.
Good morning.
Morning.
A few items for the board's consideration this morning. The first item would be to surplus a Caterpillar generator. It's a very large unit, model 3412. This generator has been basically stored for a number of years. It did belong to, sorry about that. This generator belonged to WPC prior to their stormwater expansion project 10, 14 years ago. And it was in hopes that we could use that with our upcoming facility on North Street someday, which is not going to work out that way. It doesn't suit our needs. We had it looked at. It's not worth putting the money into because they found antifreeze in the oil and some fuel system issues. So we would like to, we got some photos there with model numbers, serial numbers. We would like to declare that as surplus and then work through the clerk's office to take sealed bids on that to see if there's any takers on it. If not, then we'll revert to getting quotes from area scrap yards to dispose of that.
I will move to approve surplusing that generator.
And I'll second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
Thank you. Last couple items are both in regard to our upcoming building expansion project on North Street. The first item would be to request your approval to purchase a 750 kW generator and transfer switch from Buckeye Power Sales at a regular quoted price of $254,046.00.
I'll move to approve the purchase of the 750 kilowatt generator and transfer switch from Buckeye in the amount of $254,046.
And I'll second. Any questions or discussion on that one? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
Thank you. And just to reference, that 750 kW generator will power the office and maintenance building and the North Treatment Plant. So everything you can see from North Street right there. So last item would be a second generator purchase. This is a 500 kW generator and transfer switch. We would like to purchase that from Evapar at a Sourcewell member price of $119,425.00. And this is the generator that will power the 4 wells in the North Well Field.
I'll move to approve the 500 kW generator and transfer switch from Evapar in the amount of $119,425.
And I'll second that. Any questions or discussion? Randy, I believe, you know, based on the estimates we previously had, what the savings is, because there's definitely a savings here.
Oh, yeah. The estimates we previously had, which were, I believe, engineers' estimates and coming from another architectural firm, the 750 kW generator, I don't have that information in front of me, but if I recall, that generator was pushing $400,000. And then the 500 kW was between 240 and 250, I believe.
Great job.
Yeah, thank you.
If there's no other questions or discussions, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Looks like we have nothing from water pollution this morning. Next Board of Works regular meeting is Tuesday, February 18th, 2025 at 9 a.m. Is there any other business to come before the board?
I'll move to adjourn.
I'll second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Adjourned.